Hello. Why does that look so dark? There we go. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. So to say this is impromptu, I think would be accurate, at least on my end. I have happened across some things I wanted to share, and because I can't screenshot, and honestly, screenshotting all of this would be kind of difficult. I thought I would just go over all of it in a video, and here we are. I guess I'll start with how this even happened. Charlie came over today. It was David's service, and he dropped by afterwards to pick up some mail, i.e., bills. And he had wanted to look through the house a bit and see if there was any ranch-related items. So we kind of did that, opened up a few closets, and his curiosity got the better of him. And he started unfurling what we believed to be a nutcracker. He opened up like a tin Santa Claus, or like, I think he said maybe it was like one of the wise men. He didn't really like open it up too much. But while he was doing that, I was looking at another wrapped item in the closet. And I picked up on a couple words. Let me see. There's two pieces of newspaper. Oh, I think this is what I saw. Something about like haunts. And so my name's Hannah, and I was like, and that was like near the base of it. And then the way in which it was wrapped, I believe this woman's face was also visible a little bit. Anyway, this was what was inside. His sled was broken, though. I tried to fix it up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to stay put together. Oops. So I break it again. Anyway, so I very carefully, after Charlie left, went back and ended up just undoing the whole thing and, to the best of my ability, not ripping the paper. So I used scissors to cut the tape and stuff. I didn't want to ruin the print. Did I mention when this is from? I know I put it in the title. This newspaper is from May 31st, 2006, which happened to be a Wednesday. Just keep that in mind as we move forward. But very quickly, before that even happened, I think it was before, I did a light read because I've been wanting to. So light reading, I'll just quickly explain it. For me is when I randomly open up. Sorry, give me a second. When I randomly will open up a book, more likely than not a book, but also like I'll do like tarot cards and things from time to time. And I just see what happens. So I did that. In New Webster's Dictionary of the English Language, Modern Desk Edition. The Secretary's Guide. Does this have a date on it? Like when this is from? Hold on, gamers. Not really. I don't know where I would find that. There's a copyright, but I don't think that necessarily translates to when it was printed. Page 683, there's registered mail, that's what Charlie came over to get today, right? Certified mail, COD, which registers to me as Call of Duty or 304, and international mail, special types of service. Airmail, special delivery, special handling, insurance. God, Charlie asked me if I had a job today, and I swear to God, every time people ask me, it feels as if it's made to be like an assault on what I do, which honestly the last couple of like days and weeks has not been the most productive. But like I do put in work. I just don't get paid or really acknowledged for what I do. I don't even understand what it is that I do, but I think it's clear if you look through my Discord. It was easier when I could take screenshots because I could just like show people instead of explaining in like the caption what I'm trying to point out. I could just give you the visual, but have not switched the laptop over yet. So I will get to that. I promise. But I think it would become clear to anybody who pays attention to that that there is something else going on in my life because the dots be connecting sometimes, as I will show you, in ways that just don't make sense. I mean, it's to such a degree where it feels like everything's just like an augmented reality. That's how like on the nose so many of my discoveries are. And when it comes to like AI and just like being able to like quickly generate images and, you know, try to, instead of giving you like an accurate article, for example, or timestamps, they could just like manipulate the data, right? In a form of like communication. They don't explain this to me, but you know, it just seems like there's too much. For example, this is the page I opened to in this dictionary, 631. You guys ready? Randomly light red, open this to 300 and 301. I don't know if you know what today's date is, but depending on where you live, you might type it out. 3, I guess it'd be 10, but still. Or 103 in the Americas. I think that's close enough to today's date. But you will never guess. I just realized the numbers right now. What I actually wanted to show you, in addition to that little discovery, you guys heard about the dock workers? All of a sudden, right? Look at that. And I quote, longshoreman, a dock laborer employed at loading and unloading ships. Now, what are the chances? But not only this, Charlie had told me about some of his gun experience today. So that happens to be right under long shot. And it's like, okay. And I'm going to be honest with you, when he was telling me all this stuff, it sounded really cool. And then I was like, why does it feel like they're training him to shoot someone? And then you go across from long shot and it says loose end or loose end. Right. And I had back at 304 that whole like Lucy bit that like when they were calling me Lucifer or like trying to make me feel like Satan or the devil or something. And so that kind of concerned me a little bit. Just a little bit. I think there was a couple of other things. There's a Lotus. I didn't necessarily look at the other page because I was just so, I guess, surprised at just what I had already like come into contact with. And I decided right then and there, and upon like finding this up in the newspaper, that I was going to be doing a video all of a sudden. I'm not going to comment on how I feel about this, but I feel a way about some of this lineup over here. If you want to read that for yourself. 10 minutes, 10:01. Anyway, so that happened. I'm still like shocked by the Longshoreman and then 301 being the next page. That's kind of crazy. Talk about being on a timer. Okay, moving on. This is why people think everything is, you know, what's pre-designated, I guess is a word. I'm getting microwaves, so that's always a good sign. I'm sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have? That's crazy. We have Treasury's new man. I showed you guys the date, right? Duty, honor. Coming up short on AIDS. Guess I'm filling in. There's a lot of stuff on here. Oh, I thought this one was really interesting. Honorable warfare is a lie we tell ourselves. And this is an article talking about like war crimes that we commit. I suppose I could read it to you. I'll try to show you to the best of my ability as well, if you want to pause and perhaps read it yourself. So, blame for alleged war crime goes to the top. The photo indicates civilian slain, execution style, and then it says May 27th. Hey, Hassan. Does this mean anything to you? A widely quoted government official said the execution-style slaying of unarmed Iraqis by U.S. Marines represented a total breakdown in morality and leadership with tragic results. Let's stop acting shocked at such horrors. War has already produced these atrocities. We consider the killing of innocents exceptional, when in fact it is inherent in war. We train our young soldiers to kill, but want them to keep their honor and sanity. What nonsense. Honorable warfare is a lie we tell ourselves to deafen the tragedy of our slaughter. War itself represents a total breakdown in morality and leadership with tragic results. And yeah, so that's by Paul Austin, I guess from Topanga. This next one is by Jack Wright of Marina Del Rey. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Where is it? So Jack obviously has been coming up for reasons. And we're going to get more into that later because guess what? I have a whole nother newspaper and it has some goodies on it. Some interesting little tidbits. Again, I want to remind you, this is from May 31st, 2006, and has been sitting in that closet since I'm pretty sure my grandma moved back in after the house was remodeled. So it's kind of crazy. Soon Haditha in Iraq will be as infamous as My Lai, a location that other American enterprise, Vietnam. There is the point of view that an unprovoked invasion of Iraq was a war crime itself, because those responsible make our laws, control our military, and own our courts. There is little chance that they will ever be brought to justice, in quotes, to use one of their own favorite phrases. So, again, this was written by Jack Wright of Marina Del Rey. And I just want to be very clear. The reason I'm reading this to you is specifically because of what's happening in Israel. I find that we were able to look at what we were doing in a Middle Eastern country and have the capacity to be like, this is wrong. And yet, for some reason, we can't do that with Israel for some reason. Wow, we have regressed as a society. I didn't read all of these before I started the video, I'll be honest. Kind of like I didn't look through the entire like open dictionary pages. But I mean, like this, it goes on, like, you know. Oh, there's a bit about China's military. I'm going to read that one too, for you too. And I'm laughing because I feel like it's been the same song and dance when it comes to China for a very long time. And you're going to see why I'm saying that. The May 24th article, Chinese threat is expanding, Pentagon says, it's disturbing. It appears that China's military buildup is contradictory to its own proclamation that is peacefully rising, pardon me. China's military investment in missiles may seem to focus primarily on Taiwan. And it's like, bro, it's fucking like what, 18 years later or something? I can't math that quickly, you guys. I don't know if that's right or not, but like we're in the year 2024. I guess it takes a while to build up to, you know, invasions and things. But if back in 2006, we were accusing China of storing up on missiles so they could, you know, take over Taiwan, how long ago did our intelligence know Israel was going to pop off like this? I'm just saying. Actually, that's the theme of everything I'm about to go through, because so much of these two random newspapers I just decided to open today are very relevant to what's happening literally right here and right now. So, yeah, these things happen well. I mean, people like would know about them well in advance. And my whole issue is like, well, why do you let it fulfill itself then? If you know about something and you just allow it to transpire, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And like, I don't know about you, but I'm not having a great time living under these current conditions. And, you know, there's even a bit in here about overturning Roe versus Wade. Like, if you knew that was going to happen, maybe you could have stopped it. I don't know. Like 2006, guys, these newspapers are from 2006. Anyway, let me turn this over. So you know how I mentioned today was David's service? Obituaries! Neat, right? Also Deadpool. 1661, right? I don't think I look like her. My eyebrows are too thick. And also I don't act. I live, bitch. I live life, unfortunately for me. I fucking hate it here. This shit's dumb as fuck, in my opinion. Y'all did not make a quality of life planet. I don't even know what to call this dumpster fire. But here's a funny thing. So you know how on the other side, I was just reading some things about war crimes, and I said specifically why I was sharing that with you. On the back end in the obituaries, I shit you not, the very first little tidbit I wrote was on, where did he go? I picked it up because of his name. Hold on, gamers. Where did he go? Sir? 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 Holy shit. Please hold. Oh, okay, I found him. Holy shit. Okay, now the reason I picked up on this name is because simulations or like Sims is something I think a lot of us are familiar with, either because of the game or you're like a nerd and you've probably had the term like simulation theory thrown around in your life at least once. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk was the person that informed you about this idea. But I saw the name Simantov Shimon. I'll spell it out for you. Simantov And this is the very first one I read in the obituary section, okay? Beloved brother, uncle, and friend, adored companion of Ruth and his dogs, fighter for Israel. Services were held at Hillside Memorial Park Tuesday. Groman, mortuary, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fighter for Israel. Like, come on. You have Sim and then you have fighter for Israel. I can't with you people. There was also this stack. So I told you Charlie came over. I ended up giving him. My life is so fucking weird. So my grandma was really into horses and David had a lot of money. And so he let her indulge in her passion. And so she got into purchasing horses for show. Primarily, I think, if not exclusively, in the style of Western riding. And we had a horse trainer named Doug. Doug Williamson. That's his name. Okay. And I really come to find out he recently passed away as well. But when you look over here, you'll see that there's like a little bit of a badge. When Charlie came over, I gave him one of the, or I guess like two like little number patches. I don't really know what to call them, like little banners that, a horse would wear when they're getting shown. From when Doug had shown one of our horses. In fact, Charlie said that it also had like the name of the horse as well as like the number. I think the number was 10. Which is interesting because it's October and it's 10. He said that he was going to like take that specific horse and I think bring it to Texas, or I don't know. Anyway, so we're stacking on that. But this mentions Santa Clarita, and then it also has just Will. And I thought that was very interesting. Also, Cat Rat. When I read Cat Rat, I was like, why are you talking about me like this? Very rude. There's also a Bob on here and a Marcus. Oh my Lord. So Bob was the name of my horse. Marcus came up yesterday. And then ProZD posted something with a black cat today. It's just the stats on this is crazy. Can you see it? There we go. Anyway, there's just like a bunch of like shit on here. There's probably even more that I haven't even like gone through. Hold on. I'll just do like a quick like little scan here. You are microwaving me. Oh. And so I think to further prove the point, because I live like by a park. Also Peter Parker, by the way. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. I will mention there is a Douglas on here. A Doman Douglas. A Jennings Gerald Jerry. A Higashi Jerry. A Hill Francis Oribo. Orebo. Bo's a thing. Thank you, stomach. A Brookman Irving. Oh, wait. I don't know if that's the name of the person. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Did you have something to say? Oh, no, it is. That is the name of somebody. I'm realizing right now there's just like a list of names. I just thought I would jump into this, you know, and like do it on the fly so you could just like go through it with me. I feel like sometimes it's more fun to like watch me like discover something as it's unfolding, as opposed to me being like, this is what I found, this is what I found. You get to like be a part of the process, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll just check you the names. I won't say them all. Let me know if you see anything interesting. Can you like, is that clear? Okay. Ooh, I'm kind of getting hungry. I don't get hungry often. Oh my God, back to like the sim theory. Just spell that backwards for me. Also, newspapers be saying a lot in 2006. I don't know if they still talk like this, but the nerd. Okay. On to the big boy. Where do I start? So you remember the pager incident? Look, there's a watch. It says page it, and then it says David. Also, St. John, I've noted before, kind of sounds like Satan. So Satan, right? And like, look, there's a 5 and a 4. And a 5 and a 4. I wonder whose numbers those are. Also, is that a 6-1? June. Wait. Are you serious? Hey, Jack Smith, I have something for you. That's crazy. Explain yourself, sir. That's even his middle name, and it's in the middle. You know, it gets worse on the other side. You have no idea how incriminating this piece of paper is. It's incredible. Riley's revamped spices a Pete. Why are we throwing in spies like that? Hold on. I guess I'll just show you the headlines and stuff on this one. This is like right above. $19.13. Oh, Union. Takes us back to the dock workers, right? Oh, like the dogs and the spies and the rats and the cats. You love your animals here, huh? I thought it was interesting because there is a election apparently going on around this time. I can just read that for you real quick. But I'll show you everything else first. There's food. Where is it? A primer on the primary. Civic duty. The California primary election is just 6 days away. Will help you make sense of the candidates and issues before you vote. Check out recent Times coverage and profiles of key races. 1-6 right over here for whatever awareness. Dream Guys, view a photo gallery of some of the heartthrobs on Grey's Anatomy. So I've shared this before. I used to work at Prospect Studios. I believe that's what it was called. And our little building that we worked out of was right across from the set of Grey's Anatomy. So, yeah. it's just a little on the nose with some of these things. Where was I? Heartthrobs on Grey's Anatomy, such as Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Patrick Dempsey, and Isaiah Washington. www.latimes.com/anatomy. You know, it's funny too. I call my house sometimes like a little fishbowl because my hair is not long enough to like stay tucked behind my ears. It's annoying. It's just like the way that it's shaped and like with all the open windows, I feel like if people really wanted to, they could just sit outside in the park and like watch me walk back and forth like a fish, you know, like just like swimming around. Yeah. I wouldn't say this looks like Donald Trump, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know who that actor is. He looks familiar though. Oh, Damon Winter? Is that his name? Oh no. Okay, so there's a fishbowl. And this is it upside down. This is the upside down image. Now that one looks like Donald's. That one for sure looks like it. Maybe not that one, but that one certainly does. Again, I just really want to make sure you understand when this newspaper came out. Okay. I wonder, does the LA Times have like an archive online where you could look up old newspapers? Because if they do, I implore you to pull open this bad boy. I don't know if they do that, but I wish they would if they don't already. That's my suggestion, because having like an archive is very interesting. And then you get little freaks like me who sometimes just randomly find stuff. And, you know, we will do the search and rescue pitch. I don't know if we can be saved at this point. just like educating people, you know, and sharing my discoveries, but you know, I'm not going to get too into it. I don't want to like give myself another round of depression. Oh, it's kind of funny. You have the spices up here. Can you see that? Wait, that's not the silent one. And then you have, what is it? It's a paper trail, bitch. Just a different kind. All right. You guys are gonna love this next guide. Oh, actually, we're not even done. 36. Let's just go to this. Okay, we're here. 45. 45. Cool. Something about a former anchor, Dan Rather, and then having that across from a Douglas. So, oh, hold on, gamers. My laptop needs to be plugged in. Wait, don't die. We good? Stick. So Danette's name is, well, Danette and then Dugos, which sometimes I swear people would, back when I thought that was my last name, they'd pronounce it like Douglas on accident. I don't know, just like input an L. So see the Dan right across from the Doug. And this is, hello. CBS correspondent's email before blast haunts co-workers. Dozier told of plans for a story about fighting on in memory of those who have fallen. And I'll quickly read some of this for you, just to get a gist of that little story. By Matea Golds, Time staff writer, New York. When producers of the CBS Evening News arrived in the newsroom Monday morning, there was an email waiting from correspondent Kimberly Dozier. Dozier? Pronunciation? Help. In a note written Sunday night, she detailed a Memorial Day story she planned to do about a U.S. soldier wounded in Iraq who insisted on going back to the battlefield, a piece about fighting on in memory of those who have fallen. Her words now haunt her colleagues. That's what we're doing now, said Rome Hartman, the newscaster's executive producer. I'm just going to keep saying Dozier. I'm sorry if that's incorrect. I'm not trying to be rude. Dozier cameraman Paul Douglas and soundman James Brolin were traveling with the 4th Brigade Combat Team for the Army's 4th Infantry Division in central Baghdad for just a few hours early Monday to get material for the story when a car bomb exploded nearby, killing Douglas and Brolin and seriously wounding Dozier. A U.S. soldier and Iraqi interpreter were also killed, and 6 soldiers were hurt. And then, I mean, it just gets into that story a bit, but war. I'd like to once again remind you of the number up here. So, how many of you are familiar with inquiry status? Any of you? Slaying inquiry. Cool. And Something about SEAL Team 6, right? No, so if you don't know, and then there's this little bit right on the side as well. Does that say Megan? Oh, God. Hi, Megan. This is what I do for a living. I know Charlie's going to tell you I don't have a job. That's what a lot of people will tell you. This is what I do. I don't know what it is. I don't get paid for it, but this is what I do. Here, you might find this interesting. Oh, now you put a suicide belt around me. I cannot go back to the city now. I cannot be a traitor. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Here, I'll go through this for Megan if she ever sees this, but also if anybody else wants to read it. And then I'll straighten it. Sorry. Oh my God. Why are you here? Oh my God. Okay. I thought Topanga was a fucking hate. Fucking just call him by his name, dude. Yeah, there's all of that. So status inquiry. Back to names. I can't believe we got Megan and Hassan in like one little story. Article? What do you call? I'm sorry, I don't get out much. I have to relearn some words. Status inquiry is a name that I gave, so like my character, but myself, when I was playing the Harry Potter mobile game, like a good while back, like not too long ago. I was playing it when I moved back here. I believe I was on my old phone. Oh, good. There's a Julian. Hey, we brought up Julian Assange recently. Here. Oh my God, he's right under fucking inquiry too. Lovely. Somebody said that on the whole, the United States and the military are doing an honorable job on an honorable project. No, honorable. So there's that. Everybody say hi to George W. Bush, by the way. Didn't you like painting dogs? Sim. But wait, there's more. So you know how abortions are apparently a hotly contested issue for a lot of people. I'm going to read you a quote under signatures handed in to repeal abortion ban. South Dakota activists gathered twice the number required to force a vote on a measure that outlawed the procedure even after incest or rape. Sound familiar? We're going back to the past. The law signed by Republican Governor Michael Rounds in March was intended to trigger a legal action that would end up in the U.S. Supreme Court. President Bush's two appointees to the court are thought by some abortion foes to be ready to overturn Roe versus Wade, the landmark 1973 decision that established the right to an abortion. And I'm going to show you that. So that's the article. And that is what I just read you. Crazy, right? Oh, look, doctors. Imprisoned. Hey, FBI. Freedom beyond incarceration. You know what's so funny? We'll pause on this real quick. We'll do a little story time. So yesterday, I believe I was in bed when all of a sudden my mind like created a new not a new acronym. FBI was obviously something we're familiar with in the United States. So Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I can't tell you exactly why it happened. When I'm in like a half like sleep state, my mind goes in like so many weird and wonky places. But I created FBAI, and then I was like, oh, I could just get rid of the A. I'll explain all of this, by the way, like what it meant to me. But then I was just like, oh, it's FBI, right? So I created the acronym Freedom Beyond Animal Incarceration. And I took out the A, had it sit on FBI. Come to find that dock workers were, and still currently from what I understand, I haven't really checked the news or anything, but like on strike at the moment. 3:32, by the way. Oh, look at this picture of David. I found it and I was like so happy because it was like a good photo of him. So I put it as my little backdrop. Oh, okay. But I'm saying we, Hassan, his community, and myself being a part of that community when I'm like watching his streams, we're all kind of intaking some information on that. And we were watching specifically, I believe I posted it on my Discord, this video from the union leader. I don't know his exact title. I don't even know if that's accurate what I'm saying. Hopefully it is. Apologies if I misspoke. But his whole thing is he's against like automation. And the whole reason I came up with FBAI, even though I whittled it down to FBI, was because I am under the impression that we live in a world that is like hyper, controlled by an AI or an artificial intelligence like system. And in my experience, it really sucks. Like, I don't want to live in Tron world. And if that's like the world we live in, and in theory, like there's so many controls over the environment, like why is the environment this shitty? Like there's just a lot of questions that start to formulate in my mind. And I don't appreciate any of this. And I don't especially like that we have no just like basic knowledge or any type of education on this technology, at least comprehensively. We are all just kind of meant to, at least unless maybe you go into certain like sectors or you get like some type of special like further education, we're meant to believe everything's like natural and things just kind of happen. And that is completely false, right? And I mean, you can kind of decipher this if you live long enough and you pay attention, but still it's like the indoctrination process to make sure you're at least at first like a stupid human and more easy to manipulate and control is crazy to me. And I think that is very much symbolic of how much they just don't actually care about people. How I like to put it is like we're just meant to like flesh out their world. We're just made to make it look like things are happening and it's, you know, full and they get just to do whatever they want to us. And I'm not down for that. I don't appreciate that. I think Felix said, not when he was last on Hassan's stream, but the last time he was, I think it was him who said, like, we're just like a metric. And it's true. And I'd like to think that I'm sure plenty of you are familiar with video games. Like, if you can create like gorgeous video game universes where like you can get hurt or you can fight, but it's fun and you get respawned and you know you as a person playing this character in this world understand that versus you could be jumping in and out, having fun, not having to really sleep, not really having to eat, you know, depending on like the laws and mechanics of like the virtual universe. Why is it we're stuck here and why does it suck so fucking bad? I don't get it. It confuses me. Was there a point to any of this? How did I even get here? Oh, the FBI AI thing. Right. Went a little off track. So anyway, the auto worker, the dock worker union leader, what are words? Why do I even try? I'm trying to be helpful. This is the best I can do with my broken brain, okay? Like, at least I'm putting in some hours. What did you do today? He was complaining about like automation and how automation was going to take, you know, over their jobs. And it's like, well, what happens after people no longer have these positions and they're not getting paid because machines don't pay taxes, which is a very viable point, by the way. It's like, now how are we going to fund our military? How are we going to fund our, you know, societies when all of a sudden all the robots are doing things? And it's like, that to me just goes back to like the AI, right? This just, to me, I think they really would prefer to phase out humans. I'm going to be real with you. And it's not that like the human, and I think it's something that they are going to try to alleviate over time, is how we're able to process things and have our own autonomy within ourselves to formulate our own opinions through our own experiences. And they'd much rather have everything automated because guess what? A robot's not going to ask for the right to vote. A robot's not going to get mad, you know, about you taking away its rights. In this case, we'll go back to the example of like abortion. The robot's not going to complain that prices are going up in anything, right? The robot doesn't even have to necessarily eat or sleep. They could just be working 24 hours depending on how they want, you know, the world to be operating at any point in time. And so you keep all of this in mind. I think we're just very inconvenient. I think we are much too much to handle because we have the ability to form opinions. And when reasonably, mind you, you made me bite my tongue, we come into situations in which we're uncomfortable and we understand that there are other people making decisions involved that get us to a point of uncomfortability, we push back, right? They don't like that. That's annoying for them, right? A robot's not going to do that. So it was just really interesting to me how I was in bed, but back to how like this entire story, let's sum it up. I was in bed, FBI, freedom beyond animal incarceration, turned into freedom beyond incarceration. By the way, just so if you don't understand the incarceration bit, I am rambling so much. Jesus Christ. I'm not Hassan, okay? I can't just like fucking I can't just like riff it and have it sound good. But I'm just more interested in getting out information. I can work on the contents and my speech patterns later. Now's not the time to focus on theatrics. Incarceration was a word I chose because even though I do believe we have a little bit more autonomy than like, you know, your basic robot, I know in my life I get rigged all the time. And so to me, that's a form of enslavement. And so I'm really just under the impression we are all under this like massive open air prison situation. And they will operate through people and they will operate through the environment and they will, you know, conduct their business or their program of the day. And we all just have to live through it and we don't get a say in it, right? And so incarceration was a term I utilized for that reason specifically. And then the A I reinserted and I was like, oh, automated. And I think that's where I was picking up on the acronym in the first place. I think it was all meant to tie together in its own little special HANA way. It makes sense to me. Other people might be like, what the fuck did that woman just like talk about for 10 minutes? That's fine. You know, that's even fair. But in my head, it all kind of corresponded. You know what I mean? You guys want to know something funny? So right next to abortion ban, which I want to remind you, Donald Trump, he takes credit for that, right? Let's get into this right here. Oh, and by the way, look at that name. Crazy, right? Now, why did we all get to be so familiar with Robert Mueller? Does anybody remember? You should look him up. Jog your memory. Congressmen could challenge federal possession of papers. The Justice Department offers a concession to Jefferson and colleagues upset over a raid. An agent says the lawmaker tried to hide documents, by Richard B. Schmidt, Times staff writer. Now, I'm bringing this up. I'm going to read for you a little like excerpt. Because yesterday, Jack Smith, who he's working on a couple of cases in regards to Donald Trump. He was hired specifically to figure out what the fuck is happening with that crazy man. And Judge Cannon, you know, a similar name came up recently. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Look, it's in the obituary. Bitch. She kind of fucking canceled the documents case, but for a while she was working on it. And currently there is another case with Judge Chutkan, who actually takes her job seriously and is not, you know, beholden to one man and his privileges. Dude, this reality is so dumb. Anyway, I think, and I've mentioned this before, that Cannon's going to be found to be part of a criminal conspiracy because she's definitely helping out this guy in a way like she shouldn't be doing. Oh, hold on. We'll get. Let me just end the FBI bit on that. But her case, Cannon's, as I said, involved a bunch of documents that Donald Trump withheld from, not the Department of Justice. What is it called? The National Archives, I believe, was the one that was like inquiring about a lot of stuff that he had kept, and he went out of his way to keep them. And this story, right next to the abortion ban, which again Donald Trump took credit for, has some similarities, come to find. Wouldn't you know? 2006, by the way. Where did I start reading? I'll pause real quick and just like quickly add, since we keep bringing him up, if Hassan were to open up my comments from today, he will see that I specifically typed raid. I also said something about Mexico. I think I spelled it Mex. It's Charlie like knocked on my door when I was trying to make the comment. So I don't know if I finished writing it all out, but Mexico also comes up at some point. I don't know if it's necessarily in this, but it's like somewhere in the newspaper, somewhere in all of this. But yeah, it's just kind of funny to me that I specifically brought up Donald Trump's raid, and then lo and behold, I'm trying to figure out what I read earlier because I didn't read the whole thing. You know what? Fuck it. Oh my God, this one's long. The Justice Department on Tuesday proposed a way to claim the furor over the unprecedented search of Representative William J. Jefferson's Capitol Hill office, but also disclose evidence that the Louisiana Democrat tried to conceal documents during an earlier search. Responding in court to a demand by Jefferson that documents seized in the office raid this month be returned, the department proposed a procedural accommodation that would give Jefferson a new chance to challenge whether prosecutors should have the documents. Although it was unclear whether the proposal would be accepted, it was the first significant public concession by the department since the 18-hour search of Jefferson's office ignited a political firestorm. So the "you're fired" guy. The disclosure of the search has created the spectacle of the House leadership, Republicans and Democrats alike, siding with the target of a federal bribery investigation in the name of protecting congressional traditions and the doctrine of separation of powers. So recently, Mayor Adams was also accused of taking bribes. And I just want to point out that this is a Black man. You know. Also, if you spell Adam backwards and you flip that D, you could get MAGA, right? Right? Isn't that crazy? It also left some senior officials, including Attorney General Alberto R. Gonzales, weighing in whether to resign if President Bush decided to intervene and order the documents returned. Bush last week ordered the documents sealed for 45 days and urged the parties to negotiate a settlement. I'm going to show you this because the word seal, documents, and 45 all next to each other on a line is concerning to someone like myself. I don't know how you feel about it. Let us continue. The General Counsel of the House, Geraldine Gennett, wrote to Gonzales on Tuesday proposing that the two sides meet next week. In order to prepare for this meeting, we had been developing proposals for you to obtain the evidence you need in a manner consistent with the Constitution, she said. The members of the Congress continued to ratchet up the rhetoric. House Judiciary Committee Chairman F. James Sensenbrenner Jr. From Wisconsin said Tuesday that he would summon Gonzalez and FBI Director Robert S. Mueller III to testify before his committee about the decision to launch the search. They didn't get it right this time, Sensenbrenner said during a commitment hearing that he had titled Reckless Justice. Did the Saturday night raid of Congress trample the Constitution? Jefferson went to federal court last week in an effort to force the return of his documents. The Justice Department filing Tuesday addressed that request. Jefferson and members of Congress have said the search violated the speech or debate clause of the Constitution, which protects members of the Congress while they are performing their legislative duties. They also have complained that agents scooped up documents that may have been protected under the Constitution. Department lawyers said in their filing that the interpretation of the Constitution raised by Jefferson and his lawyers would turn congressional offices into sanctuaries where members could engage in illegal conduct. That's so crazy because you guys hate sanctuary cities. So why do you get sanctuary offices? And why do you get like sanctuary titles like president? Huh? Weird. Where was I? The department added that it had used elaborate procedures to ensure that constitutionally protected material would not be removed. The May 20 to 21st search was conducted by agents who had no role in the investigation. The documents were then transferred to an independent filter team composed of 2 Justice Department lawyers and an FBI agent for evaluation. But Justice Department officials also gave ground Tuesday. The department proposed that it give I don't know if it's supposed to be past tense gave or gives. I think there's an S missing. Gives copies of all seized documents to Jefferson and his lawyers. They would then be given an opportunity to raise objections about whether individual documents were properly seized. Any disagreements between the two sides would be resolved by a judge. Under the original plan, many of the documents would have been forwarded directly to Justice Department and prosecutors. Jefferson and his lawyers could conceivably file objections to all of the documents taken, but a senior Justice Department official, speaking on condition of anonymity because of the continuing proceedings, said the department believed that many of the documents were properly seized. Jefferson's attorney, Robert Trout, declined to comment. The Solicitor General took custody of the materials, including 2 boxes of documents and a host of computer files, on the afternoon of May 26th, the day after Bush ordered them sealed. Jefferson had been the focus of a federal bribery and corruption investigation since March 2005. Investigations are, pardon me, I have not read this much out loud in a minute, and I'm like salivating. Yo, I'm ready to go. Just let me off the leash. I'll get him. Jefferson had been the focus of a federal bribery and corruption investigation since March 2005. Investigators are examining whether he used his influence to promote a Louisville-based internet firm called iGate to Nigeria, Ghana, and other African countries in return for stock and more than $400,000 in cash. Agents also examining whether he bribed high-ranking government officials in Africa. The FBI said Jefferson had been videotaped accepting $100,000 in marked bills intended as a bribe, and a search of his Washington home last year turned up most of the money foil wrapped in his freezer. I did not read that part earlier. That's kind of weird. Okay. The government said the latest search, the first of a congressional office in history, was conducted as a last resort. Sounds very similar to a separate incident. They said that Jefferson had resisted a subpoena issued in August seeking documents about his business dealings. Representative Jefferson's evidence attempt to frustrate the collection of documents pursuant to a lawful warrant raised questions about whether any production in response to the subpoena would be complete. They could literally go bar for bar. You know what I mean? Like, some of this stuff, it's like, just literally take this, take all of it, and then highlight that and put it into evidence. In the latest twist in the investigation, the department revealed evidence that during a search of his New Orleans residence in August 2005, Representative Jefferson attempted surreptitiously to remove documents responsive to the list of items to be seized. That's just the next paragraph. Like, come on. Bar for bar. Paragraph for fucking paragraph. In an affidavit signed Monday, an FBI agent, Stacey E. Kent, described how she was assigned to monitor Jefferson and certain members of his family while the search was in progress, and said that she observed Jefferson trying to play a game of keep away with the FBI. Is that so? At one point during the search, she said Jefferson was sitting at a table in the kitchen of his home looking at pieces of paper. He then asked to review a copy of the subpoena, and Kent said she observed Jefferson taking the subpoena and the other documents and putting them together under his elbow. According to Kent, Jefferson later asked that he be allowed to move to his living room while the search continued. She said he took the subpoena and the documents with him, sat in a recliner in the room, then placed the documents in a blue bag next to the recliner. The bag had been previously searched, which Kent said Jefferson had been in a position to see. Kent said she told Jefferson she needed to look at the documents he had placed into the bag. Jefferson said the documents were subpoenas. Kent said she persisted. Jefferson relented. The documents turned out to be faxes from a person named which had been requested under the warrant. It is my belief that when Congressman Jefferson placed documents into the blue bag, Kent said in the affidavit, he was attempting to conceal documents that were relevant to the investigation and expressly sought by the warrant to search his New Orleans, Louisiana residence. So, you know, just some things, just slightly relevant things. Upgrade your wheels. Oh, did I mention that's right next to an election article? Hold on. Abortion. That mess. And then an election. Whoa. That's so crazy, you guys. How does this happen? Oh, there's Mexico. See, I told you Mexico was involved. This is why Donald wanted to build a wall. He did not want this to happen. Now, I don't know how a wall would have actually fixed any of this transpiring, but Donald Trump says things sometimes. Maybe he meant like a firewall. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I mean, this to me just kind of like resonated with, what's going on with, or in regards to the dock workers and I mean, just the middle class in general. I didn't really read this one too much. I feel like there's copium. I feel like there's a lot of copium. I will note that we have a Marcos, since we brought up Marcus earlier, and again, like the black cat bit is resurfacing for God knows what reason. Where did it go? There we go. Let you guys read all that if you want to. Just, you know, stories about corrupt politicians trying to make it seem like they're not corrupt. Same old, same old. 2006, 2024, it's the same fucking thing. Get stupid games, stupid prizes. Bro, you're so right. No, they're hurting my toe. Oh, we have doctor on the side over here. Warlords. What was the word? Oh, it was the link to one of the videos I posted. Got me to thinking about dog tours. Or there was like another way I was reading it too. I forgot what the other one was though. But yeah, that 1 hour, 17 minutes, and now 54 seconds, 55. We have completed the bit. Oh my God, I am being microwaved and they're hurting my toe and my head. It feels fuzzy all of a sudden. It's going great. I love this for me. Oh, and I also wanted to mention too, just very quickly. So David, and this is on the obituary page, David passed away like about 3 weeks after his wife Minnie died. And so I saw this earlier, but it where did it go again? It slipped my mind when I was doing the video. As duly noted. Real, that's not how you spell it, I don't think, but I wanted to share that too because as far as I'm concerned, like, oh my God, here's a David, just on the other side. Here. Hey, it's Twitch. Hey, it's Twitch. Hey, it's David. He looks so cool. Okay. Anyway. I like sharing things even if I don't believe like I'm like directly involved. For example, like I've never met Minnie, and hardly did I actually really know David, and I've never met Megan. But if this can somehow help them either understand what's happening or, you know, if one day they themselves want to like inquire as to maybe why their lives, hopefully they're not as wonky as mine, but they want to like establish a case or something, I'd like to help, right? Like, unfortunately for me, I only typically run on my own keys of reference, but names are sometimes, like Hassan came up today too. names are sometimes things I can still like be like, oh, okay, like I could connect this for somebody else. It's like I'm one of those like phone operators and I'm like putting in, you know, the little wires. I try to be helpful when I can. I do apologize. I don't have like a bigger like swatch to operate on, but you guys have no idea how broken my brain is. Like it's a miracle I can do this. So we will thank God for the small miracles. I do want to say one more thing. I realized that in the obituaries. Remember how I told you I was like trying to be very delicate and like careful with the tape? So you can like see here like how it's just like cut. It seems as if, where did it go? That there is a bit of tape on the inside of the paper. I don't know if you see that 450, and that's the tape. Oh, also honor. Honor. That's under Parker. And that's just a little bit interesting and slightly concerning to me. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. But get it? Because this was the wrapping for this little nutcracker guy. Does he have anything on the bottom? He does. Okay, hold on. Hello, Sleeping. So you see what today's date is. Okay. 1/23/23. We've been over these numbers. Right. And this was like a random thing I opened. Okay. I'm going to show you what is on the bottom of this nutcracker. I didn't check until just right now. Okay. What are those numbers? Also, made in Chin. I brought up Dr. Chin yesterday. Because you guys, there was this article by Hannah from Who, What, Where. And she was talking, I don't even exactly know like the pronunciation. I can't even remember like how the word was spelled. But there was like something about it reminded me of a slur. And I was like, I don't think I like that, but especially so you're hurting my toe because I just threw away David's like I had a couple of flowers that were still alive. So I kept them and then they started kind of getting moldy. So I was like, okay, maybe it's time we throw these out. So I did that yesterday. Fast forward to me finding that article and I was like, I don't know. I thought it was disrespectful. I was not a fan of that, but yeah. That's crazy. 1, 2, it's 8300. You can't really make out too much else. That's wild. That is wild to me. Now for some people, you might be like, that's not even in the right order. I don't get how you guys can believe in like conspiracy theories in Bigfoot, but you can't like just pull a dyslexia in your brain. I'm sorry, I mean, and just like decode numbers. Like it's 3 numbers, okay? It's not hard. It's like if you were to see like BAC, you could be like, oh, well, ABC is like another way you could route that. And it's like, yeah. Or you could do CAB, right, for cab. Incarceration. No, don't. She's trying to kick me. She's trying to ruin my evidence. This is what Donald Trump does. We are not like him. I actually find it really hard to throw things away. I don't want to call myself a hoarder, but I'm a little bit of a hoarder. I call it evidence, okay? It's all evidence. I was thinking about it the other day, though, back to like the cabin incarceration, or Carlo Rossi. And the idea of like getting like AI, getting like generated or pushed through us without our consent or knowledge. And so we do crazy things like this sometimes. Or an example I like to use is like the school shootings. It's like they're not random. It's not just one guy. It's not a lone wolf. That fucking term pisses me off so bad. I'm like, there is a third party who orchestrated this so long ago, picked who they wanted to do it, ensured, you know, there was like reasonable evidence as to like their radicalization process and whatever, to make it seem like they were just online, you know, part of forums or, you know, getting inspired by other shooters. When in reality, it's like, yes, all of that could be true, but also there is the bigger truth, which this person was like hand selected to carry out this mission. You know, it's like, this goes back to what I was trying to say yesterday. I speak on things accurately, and it is very unhelpful. Like, and we just allow the media to get away with it. And it pisses me off. Little squirrels outside. It fucking pisses me off, because then I start to think to myself, oh, they're in on it. They're covering, because they are. If you're not going to accurately speak on the situation and you're just going to go off of like the surface layer, right? What's a better way to put it? Like the known facts, the optics of it, as opposed to like the true nature of the situation, right? To me, I don't want to go on this rant right now. They're in on the bit and they piss me off. Fucking piss me off. You know what? With that being said, let's read. I want to clear my mind. I'm now upsetty spaghetti. Let's light read. Let's do one more light reading and then we'll call it a fucking video. I'm sorry this went on for so long. But uranium, a heavy radioactive metallic element, silvery in appearance, ductile and malleable. Right above Uranus. Great. Not me saying upsetty spaghetti and the word at the top being upset. No! What page is this? The reason I said uranium and I read it was because that's about where like my finger was. But Charlie asked me today why I wasn't using my rainbow vacuum, which I do have, by the way. And my shark one was just like out in the one of the hallways. Actually, the hallway, I guess it's one big hallway, this house, to be honest. But the vacuum cleaner was stationed by the closet that had this in it. And I had left it out because I still needed to deposit all of the cat hair and dust and whatever else it picked up into the trash can. And I wasn't able to do that before he got here. And I told him that was my lazy vacuum. because with the rainbow you have to get the water in, and honestly, like, I like the rainbow, but this isn't a vacuum review. It's a great vacuum, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have like a high handle, so you have to like bend over and like roll it around, and my back's fucked up. And I'm bringing that up is because Donald Trump doesn't like sharks. And I think I realized that after Charlie left. I was like, wait a minute. wait a minute. I was told by somebody else they don't like vacuums either. She said vacuums specifically, or vacuuming. Kara from The Shot, when I was working for her for like 2 weeks before things got shut down again, I worked like at a hair salon. And yeah, they actually broke my first vacuum that I got for $304. And then I had to get another one, which was the Shark that I have now. But weird. Okay. Upsetty spaghetti. Why does this say urgent? Urgent, uric, urinal, urinalysis, urinary, urinates, urine, urn. Oh. Can urn be spelled EARN? Because I feel like I've earned some things. Bro, I don't want to be ashes. Especially like talking to Charlie about trustful. Oh, trustful. Tuner. You're reading shit now. Oh, we talked about weed whackers too. Hold on, we can go over that. But yeah, just talking to Charlie about guns and stuff, and how, you know, he'd practice with some notable characters. I don't want to be the next Ashley Babbitt, okay? I did not storm that Capitol. I'm not that stupid. I am not that stupid. But here, I'll show you. It's all of that. Dun, 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 dun. I'll show you. This is like the next random page I went over to. I swear it. Does that say tug of war? Yo, tug of war. I actually saw a live game of tug of war this year at Ludwig's streamer games. I have the sticker on my laptop. Oh, it's a tugboat. I guess that kind of fits into the dock workers now. It's a little bit. Secret tunnel. Oh, wait. Did I show you the tumbleweed yet? I don't think I did. Yeah, but Charlie was telling me it was going to take him like a week to like weed whack the ranch, and he's been kind of busy, you know, since David's passing. Am I the weed? When we talk about weed whacking, we brought up Parker earlier. Wait, let's try to find the connect here. Mary Jane's 420 to weed whack, to whack something. I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like I get death threats, and mysterious ways. It wouldn't be out of the ballpark, we'll say. I read this as tsunami. Oh my god, I'm such a this is tsunami. I'll show you all that. True social, guys. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary for that whole conversation I had with him to actually be a threat. 137.15. I didn't say it earlier. But Kingsley came up. Oh, look, 420. There's an extra 2 in there, but still. God damn it. I saw it earlier, the Kingsley thing, and so that takes me to like Kings Harbor, 304, Redondo Beach, whatever. Like that's like the tracking. But they also mentioned Princess, and now I've just randomly flipped to. Are those nooses? Oh my god. So here's King Snake. They call these knots, but this just brings me back to Hang Time and Knott's Berry Farm. Knee pain. You know who's been having knee pain all of a sudden out of nowhere for no good reason for the first time in their life? Me. Like for the past like 2 or 3 days, my knee has been giving me issues. It's my left knee. I don't know if that matters, but oh. So remember when I was just talking about like death threats? You know how I was just talking about death threats? It's so crazy. It's so fucking crazy. I'm sure Mike Pence would love to see this, by the way. What did they? There was like reporting that Donald Trump was told Mike Pence was not safe, and he was like, "So what?" Well, oh my god. I like that Quran, or is it Quran? I think it's Quran, right? And kosher are right next to each other. Because they're not having problems between Muslims and Jews or anything right now in this very moment as we speak. Also KO. Knockout. Does that even say Hill? Like Capitol Hill? That's crazy. This is crazy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This read as bowspurt, not bowsprit, and so it took me to bone spurs. But yeah, fun stuff. Oh, this just went right back to upset again. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I upset you, Mr. Bone Spurs? That's so sad. Wait. That's so sad. Go fuck yourself. Lord knows Melania ain't. Speaking of wars that are actually quite consequential, despite what I just read, Elizabeth Warren, i.e. Pocahontas. So about that, those urns. EARN, guys. EARN. I don't know what that URN shit's about. You can talk to David's ghost about that situation. Did you know that ashes are actually not composed of the fleshy bits, but ground up bone? I learned this fact recently. premature babies. Oh, is that an incubator? Miss Independent. Incomprehensible. Inconclusive. Inconsequential. Yeah, that's the word I read when I mentioned the war. And I was like, I disagree. Like, hello? Inconsiderate. Not acting with regard for the feelings of others. Thoughtless. Oh, like Donald's? And his lying ass? Should we do one more? Hold on. Hold on. I made a Donald Trump joke and then my eyes went to incriminate. I didn't even know that word was on here. There is a lot of incriminating evidence, I would agree. Civic, clarity, the state of being clear. You know, when I was living at 304, Clarity by Zed was playing. Zed also means zero, by the way. And I was looking outside and a shooting star went overhead. And now in that moment, it seemed really cool. But in consideration to like the wars and like the bombings and those visuals, I don't know. Just seems like maybe there's a little bit more to that. Clearinghouse, an institution through which the claims of banks against one another are settled. Pardon me. I get triggered sometimes because we've been talking about like the West Bank, obviously. Gaza more so, but the West Bank still. And I live right next to a town called Burbank. It's a little bit concerning, to me at least. Oh, also at 304, I live next to the Civic Center. I also drive a Honda Civic. Dun, 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 dun. Wait. Is there anything else? What the fuck's a clay pigeon? A saucer of baked clay or other material to be thrown into the air by a trap as a target. Okay. I'm going to read for you the word clean. Free from foreign matter. Pure. I don't like this. That to me is that right there is just like nationalist ideology. That is a supremacy mindset. That's crazy. I can't believe I've been cleaning my house today too. Next to clearinghouse. Not next to, but on the same page. And we got the vacuum bit. Oh no. There's even a clap. Dude, get clapped. Bro. They were making jokes. Look at clap the civilian. Israel be doing that though. You were right. Clap civilian. Oh my god, and that's Klansman. Oh, see, I told you that definition was weird. I'm happy we kept going. I was at 146. Okay. I think I'll call it though. There's a lineup. Civil rights, civil service, and civil war. Bro, we're not going to have any rights. We're going out of service, as I said previously. I think we're too smart. We have too much of an opinion. They don't like that. And so, therefore, we must, at some point, I'm sure, engage in a civil war. But it's not going to be like regular folks against regular folks. I think it's going to be like people, the overwhelming like majority, trying to figure out who's in control of like the AI. Like, I don't have the words. I don't even know what to call it. Like the overlay. We live in a Photoshop and we're only meant to register it as like one image when there's just so many other layers, you know, to get to a point. And we're not made to understand everything that stacks and builds and why it's there in the first place. I don't even know how this happened. I didn't flip it to this. Maybe it just like did it naturally. So, you know, there's a couple things. I said Charlie came over earlier. I don't call him this, but sometimes his wife would call him Chuck. We have Chuck Wagon on page 94, and on 95, Civet Cat. Any of several meat-eating mammals native to Africa and Southern Asia. Okay. Well, we've been having a cat bit, so I'm not surprised. Also, where'd it go? Church warden. Elizabeth Warden. Close enough, right? Cipher. The numerical character 0. I didn't even see that. Or nothing. Some unimportant person or thing. A monogram, a kind of secret writing which follows a pre-arranged system. See, that is exactly what I do in my life. A communication written in code, a key to a code, VI, to use figures to practice arithmetic, VT, to figure mathematically to write in secret characters. You know what? I'm happy we flipped to this page. There you go, guys. From the new Webster's Dictionary's mouth. My job. A predetermined set of events that I don't get paid for and nobody asked me to do. I've been through so much doing what I do, you guys. What time is it? 4:35. Oh, while I have you. Oh my God, most of them are clear. I have so many like bug bites. I saw Cutie's fucking dog bit, by the way. You know what's so funny? I stopped getting bug bites after I missed the football game. Show up on purpose. I can't believe I started my period that day too. Like I was like kind of bleeding the night before, but like not really. I'm sorry, TMI. We're getting it. It's 4:35. It's late, okay? Things get weird at night. I mean afternoon. But sometimes, like, if you're familiar, like, you'll just spot and it's not really your period, or, you know, there is a buildup process. I woke up the next morning and there was just like, and I should have known because my phone, like my YouTube feed decided to tell me or show me, I believe it was YouTube, or maybe it was like a random article on like the side of the phone. Something about like bleeding. Oh, maybe it was a BuzzFeed article. I didn't like really read it because I didn't think too much of it. but like of a student wanting to like leave their classroom or something because they were on their period and their teacher wouldn't let them or something. You know, one of those fun scenarios. It was a man teacher, of course. And I kept seeing it and I kept seeing it in hard to be in my bed, and I didn't really care, put too much thought into it. I go into the bathroom to take my like piss, and there's just blood all over my panties. I'm like, okay. Okay. So there's the bloodbath you asked for. And then yeah, I've been having like all of these like bug bites and stuff. And then I got Cutie singing the K9 Advantic song, and I was just like, cool. But yeah, now I'm not getting bug bites anymore all of a sudden. And actually, it's so funny. I'm wearing the dress I was gonna wear to. I'm wearing this as well. This is David's, by the way. Here, I'll show you. Here, wait. I'll do a fashion show. Hold on. I'll walk out from here. I have to take off my jacket. Okay, I'm a little bloated right now, but I was gonna wear this. I got this for $4. This was in the what was it? The sales section at H&M, like the one in the Burbank Mall. And yeah, I was like, this is the perfect color for the game. So I was planning on going, like legitimately. And unfortunately for me, you all had other plans, but whatever. Now I just get to talk shit about all of you for forcing me to not go. I also got this cute chain too. Oh, you know what? I could bring it. I could show you. I wasn't quite sure what shoes I was gonna wear though. I have these Jeffrey Campbells that are incredibly dusty. I was gonna wash off. I just don't wear colors, so I was thrown off as to like what shoe would work the best, and then I wasn't entirely certain or sold on like my top or like jacket. It was gonna be hot that day anyway, but I always like to have like an exterior layer. 154.23. What time is it? 4:39. Here, I'll grab my chain just for funsies. I can leave you with this on for a second while I go do that if you want. I don't know what he's doing at the moment. Share screen. Is this live? Hold on. Hold on, gamers. Audio. Director. I've been wearing my black hat recently, but not the director's one. Okay. I'll be right back. And then I was thinking about wearing this chain. I've been busy, obviously, so I don't even know 157.01 what we're talking about. And there goes the stream. See, sometimes it would do this, but since like the election, not only like would it stop, like my entire like none of my other tabs work. So it's not like just a Twitch issue. Like YouTube wouldn't refresh, my Discord wouldn't work, you know, like so clearly right now I'm still connected because the chat's going. But it's like, what the fuck is that? And this is a little bit less severe of an issue than it just being like it no longer works. But it's still really fucking annoying, right? And so what I would do is I just open it up on my phone, and then I was trying to keep tabs. Um, give me a second. Is to survive. What was I saying? Oh, I'd open up his on stream on Twitch, and then I would like mark in comments. If I do that, and I ever want to go back and look at like the timestamps of when like this was happening or how frequent, I could literally, not that I have a lawyer, but I could have my lawyer ask for Hassan to open up his like feed or his like stream notes or history, whatever. And I think he would be able to like give that information over if I ever need it, right? So that's cool. He's kind of like how I use his chat for that thing only, like specifically, and there's other things as well. Is to kind of keep like a log that just keeps tabs of when like weird shit happens to me. I kind of match my. This is not an endorsement. 0. Anyway, I just think it's kind of smart to do that as opposed to just being like, damn it, it's happening to me. I'm just going to like wait and sit it out. I know it's probably annoying because I'm like saying it out of nowhere in chat, but chat, I hope you understand that my life really sucks. And if I'm not documenting in some capacity what's occurring to me, it's just going to keep happening. And there's no way to fight back, right? And this is how I fight back is through trying to keep some type of log, which is essentially my Discord, but Hassan's comment section has also proved as an interesting little tool. I wasn't expecting to come across, but hey, you take what you can get. I do believe to 35, 36, 37. That will be the end of the stream. Sorry it was all over the place. I just really wanted to share all that fucking crazy shit I found because it's a lot and it's very relevant. And hopefully you also appreciate my weird and wacky life because sometimes it's a little bit entertaining and maybe sometimes incredibly helpful. I do not think I'm going to reroute this little man. Reminder, the date on that guy. Or does it say IQ? Okay, I have to stop. I have to. If I don't stop now, I will never stop. I alone can stop myself. I don't know when we'll be doing another one of these, but I mean, the next time I come across some crazy shit, hopefully I switch to my other laptop soon so I can do the screenshot thing again. And make my Discord a little bit, and I think, in my opinion, it's easier to like read and digest what I'm trying to say when I'm able to like really hone you in on a section, either it be an article or like a part of a video where like the CCs are showing and like things start matching up, just like taking you there so you don't have to go in and do it manually, which is unfortunately, if you do frequent my Discord, which I have no reason to believe anybody even looks at it, but for the past like couple of days, or is it weeks at this point, that is something that people have had to exercise if they do try to participate in the gathering of certain informations. I apologize. But yeah, even if I switch over, I mean, I could just live stream from the Mac, I think, right? I don't think it'd be any different. So I might look a little bit different. The camera quality, I would think, might be a little bit better than the Chromebook. You'll get to see how ugly I really am. Yay. I love showing people my imperfections and flaws, dude. That's so fun for me. But yeah, I will try and switch over soon. So at least the Discord's a little bit more concise. I'm getting like microwaved a little bit. Fun. I hope you guys have a happy Thursday. I'd say I'd watch Critical Role, but I've kind of fallen off of Critical Role, unfortunately. I've just been watching Hassan stuff because he does politics, and that's kind of like where I operate anyway. It's like our worlds collided, and it kind of just made sense for me. And then he covers a lot of stuff I wasn't knowledgeable on, so it has expanded what I was already privy to. So it's been very helpful in that way, I think, to get like a better idea of current events, and then trying to mesh that with my own experiences, and trying to understand like the human condition and trafficking and all of that, and like the bigger apparatus in play, which, you know, like wars and things, obviously, a big part of that. Everything seems to be on a schedule. So unfortunate. But yeah. Anything else? I don't think so. It's warm. All right, gamers. I will see you next time. Again, don't know when that's going to be, but oh, you know what? I will promise you this much. Sorry. I just can't end the stream, guys. It's impossible. I will give you a Halloween, I don't want to say themed week. I don't want to commit to that at the moment, but maybe we do what we did last year, but I will at least promise you that you will get a pumpkin carving stream. Last year I did Gengar, and it turned out really well. I like freehanded him. And so I don't know what we'll do this year. I kind of just do Pokemon. I've done a Pikachu one, which turned out really cool as well, the Gengar, and then we'll see. Maybe like Charmander sounds cool because you could do like a little flame for the tail, but yeah. Things to think about. I hope you guys are enjoying your October. It certainly puts me in better spirits. And then I look at the time and I'm a little less happy. Though it's been incredibly warm here in Southern California, and I do not like the heat. I will say that much. All of a sudden, it just like October came, and then Southern California is like, we're going to be in the 90s now. I was like, no, Mr. Weatherman. Here, I'll show you. Oh, it's okay. It gets lower. I checked it the other day, and I swear to God, it was just 90s across the board. So that's reasonable. At least put us in the 70s. Like, for the love of Christ. It's October. Where's your Halloween spirit? Okay, we should really go. Bye, you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Don't go crazy while I'm gone. Or at least try not to. I will chat with you guys later. I always try to like end these things, not remembering that there's like a couple second delay between me pressing end stream and then me actually having to press end when the prompt comes up. And it's like this little awkward moment. And I okay, bye for real.